What's up, everybody? Ruben Garcia with Fine Fayetteville, and I'm at Gregg's Pottery, but this isn't Greg. Right. So if you don't mind, tell everyone who you are, what you do, how you do it, and all that good jazz.
Okay, so my name is Kelly. I own the shop. The business is named after my dad. He's actually owned this building about 35 years and had different businesses in here, an advertising agency. He rented it out to an antique shop, which then moved from here and became Cotton Exchange. But the building was sitting empty. I was living in California for several years and decided to move back to Fayetteville. I am originally from here, born and bred, not military related, just a regular old Fayetteville citizen. So I moved back here, building is sitting empty. Dad says, downtown is revitalizing, let's see what we can put in there. And originally when we opened 18 years ago, we only had 4 tables. We're a paint your own pottery shop. So you come in, you pick out a piece of pottery, you pick out your paint colors, we walk you through the whole process. You sit and paint your pottery, you leave it with us, we fire it, you come back and pick it up. But originally when we started, we only had 4 tables and way more of my dad's art. He's a watercolorist and a potter, and we sold way more of his stuff, which is why the business is named Gregg's Pottery. In hindsight, in reality, I would not have named it anyone's name, including my own. I just would have called it that pottery place or something. But anyway, because people come in and they say, you don't look like a Greg, where's Greg? Or when I say I named it after my dad, they assume he's passed away and named it in his honor. Yeah. But I'm like, no, he's in the back making pottery in his studio, he's still around. And a lot of people know him in this town. He's been in the art community for 50 years. And so we just decided to name it Gregg's Pottery. And as we were open, the paint your own pottery side grew and grew and grew, and we started selling less of his pottery and art. And we sort of added more tables, pushed the painting part of the shop closer to the front of the store with less of his product in there, that section. Added more pottery, more shelves of pottery, types of glazes, that kind of thing. And it just kind of grew over the last 18 years. And here we are today.
That's awesome. Quick question. Yeah, while you were in California and you got the call from your dad that said, hey, Fayetteville downtown is revitalizing, what was your first thought when you heard that? Were you like, I don't know about that? Or what was it? Because, you know, a lot of people will say like they remember quote unquote Vietnam. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Remember. So what did you think when he said that?
I had kind of already seen it anyway, because when I was living in California, I would come home once in the summer and at Christmas, of course, and I could see things like the Cameo, like Rude Awakening. Right. The Rick's Lounge was gone, and all the old, that part of downtown was gone, and there was things happening down here. I had just moved back. I didn't have a job. This kind of created a job for myself. And then he owned the business for probably the first 3 years, and then after that, he said, I was running the whole show. He was just doing all the paperwork and accounting and all that kind of stuff. Right. And he said, hey, we're either gonna close or you take over. And so I took over and kind of changed a few things, made it my own, and so that's how we are where we are today.
Yeah, and that's how you made it on this channel.
That's right.
All right, so what do you think you would ever, and not that you would, do you think you would ever change the name?
Yes, I just don't know how to do it, because so many people know it as Gregg's, and I'm on the radio. I've been on Q98 for 7 years, and believe it or not, it does work. Radio advertising, because people say, I don't listen to the radio, but a lot of people do. Yeah. And honestly, a lot of children hear my commercial on the radio and say, I want to go paint pottery, or if they've already come in and painted pottery and they need to come pick up, it's like a good reminder when they hear it on the radio. Right. Hey mom, we need to go back and get our pottery. We need to go back to Gregg's and get our pottery. So because it's Gregg's Pottery on the radio and because it's been Gregg's Pottery for 18 years, I don't know how to change it. And I don't know what I would change it to, but it would not be anything to do with Kelly or anybody's name.
Yeah, I mean, a pottery place is pretty cool. So one, put in the comments below, what would you think?
I would love suggestions. I would love suggestions.
Not only suggestions, what if she changed it? What would be your feelings? Because it kind of leads to my next question. And this isn't a conversation about change your name, believe me. But how many new people come in here versus reoccurring guests or clients or?
That's a good question because I ask people. I have tons of regular customers. My customers are amazing. I even have customers, with the military. They'll leave and PCS and come back 6 years later and be like, I'm so excited you're still here. This was our favorite place in Fayetteville. We're so glad you're still here. We have lots of people that had their children's birthday party here when they were 7, and now their child is able to, 9 years later, their kid can drive themselves here to paint pottery. Wait, I forgot your question, Ruben. What was it? I got off on a tangent.
No, it's cool. It's kids' birthdays, and so now you can have birthdays here and private events, which we'll talk a little bit about. What if there? It sounded like you answered it though, which is, do you have a lot of new people who come in?
New people.
But it sounds like you have a lot of reoccurring people.
A lot of regular customers. We actually have a frequent painter card too that we sign every time people come in. But I always ask new customers, how did you hear about us?
Yeah.
How I would say it's probably on a Saturday, 70% new customers, 30% regular on a Saturday. And a lot of them say, friends told me, I saw it on Facebook, or I heard you on the radio. And so that's how a lot of new people find out about us. I do have people that walk by and come in, but for the most part, it's word of mouth, Facebook. I post a lot on Facebook. I have a really regular following on Facebook, and then the radio.
Okay, if it's so how about Monday through Friday? Is the ratio
Regular customers,
is
Monday
it still
through Friday.
More, like what is it? Like 60-40? 60% newer people?
I never.
Or is it 50-50 or what?
I would say it's 60-40 with regular customers during the week.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so it might be more difficult to change the name, because I was thinking if it's a lot of newer people showing up, what's really going to be the effect? It's going to hurt at first, but it'll probably wash over with the amount of new people you have.
Yes.
But if majority of the week, literally 5 to 6 days of the week, it's more reoccurring, I could see where there might be a little bit of pain in changing the name.
But at the same time, they already know where we are and they know who we are. And they already know the story too, because so many people do ask me, why is it called Craig's Pottery? Why, where's Greg?
Yeah.
So, and we do have a painting of him in the building, and I say, this is what he looks like. He's still here.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll walk in while somebody's in here and they're like, hey, there's Greg. And I'm like, he's here. I told you.
He's real.
Yeah, he's real.
Well, maybe, how did you find us? And then what if we were to change the name? What would be your thoughts? And it kind of reminds me, because I'm in real estate, and I asked you earlier, you have a friend in real estate, and I asked what firm, and you didn't know. And I tell agents this all the time. People are more attracted to you and the value that you have more than the name that you affiliate with.
Absolutely. I'm big on customer service. I love my customers. I try to remember their names, especially children's names, because that makes a big difference to them. When they come back and pick up their pottery and I say, hey, Lauren, your pottery turned out so cute, and they just light up because you remember their name. I'm big on customer service. That's like my passion. There's some people that are meant to do customer service and some people that are not meant to do it, and they just kind of end up there, and you can tell the difference. So
okay, well, that was a good little section about if it's just you started with that. I was like, man, you know what? If that's been on your mind for a little bit, let's just talk through that. Right. But again, it might be just a question you ask right after the question when you ask, where did you find us? Is what would happen if we changed the name? Right. And then see where it goes. So what are some of the things, you talked a little bit about it. I know that we talked about birthdays and private events. What other private events do you have here? So if someone's listening is like, man, I want to do something there. Give me some examples.
Right. So first of all, Monday through Saturday is walk-ins only. We don't take reservations. We're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4. Like I said, you come in, pick out your pottery, paint it. We explain everything to you. We don't actually offer classes. A lot of people walk in and see the tables and assume we're doing classes, but it's not. Everybody's just in here doing their own thing with some guidance from us. But we do ladies' night the first Saturday of the month, where you do have to make reservations. So for instance, this Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m., we have a lot of regular customers that come to that. So sometimes I'm not even able to promote it on Facebook.
It's already booked.
Because it's already booked. Adult night, the second Saturday of the month, where anybody, Anyone over 21 can come. It's the only time I allow adult beverages, you guys. Ladies' night and adult night and private events. So if you come in on a Tuesday at noon, leave the wine at home.
Yeah, it almost seems like a disaster to have a lot of alcohol in this place.
We have a lot of kids, and I just try to keep it family friendly, except for ladies' night, adult night. The conversations can get a little spicy amongst the customers at their tables.
Of course.
We do a lot of military wives groups. We actually just had the Fayetteville Girl Gang in here. I don't know if you follow their page on Instagram. And it's basically just it's a way to get people to kind of meet new people in Fayetteville. It's kind of hard sometimes, especially if you're a new military wife, you don't know where to go to make new friends your age. So they just came in a couple of Saturdays ago. We do private birthday parties, but honestly, because we do so many private events ourselves, we don't have a lot of time slots for birthday parties. We do them, call me if you're interested, but we already have so many things plugged in, especially right now through the holidays. We do a lot of things. We got Dickens holiday coming up. Yeah. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So
yeah. If I don't know, I'm not sure if this is just for private events or just for anybody. Can somebody bring in their own thing that they would want to paint?
That's a good question. No.
Yeah.
We only fire things that are purchased here. I've had people come in, literally years ago, I had a guy come in with a concrete parrot, and he said, I want to paint it and fire it. And I said, concrete doesn't go in a kiln. And I told him what to do, paint it with acrylic paint. I gave him steps on how to make his project work elsewhere, not here. Yeah. Or people buy things at a yard sale. And
was it the guy with the parrot that walks around?
No, okay. It wasn't him. I know who he is. It was not him. But people come in with things that they think are meant to be fired and they're not, or, this was in my Aunt Nan's shed for 30 years. Will you guys fire it? We will not. Right. And we do not offer pottery classes, you guys. And we do not fire things that you might have made somewhere else, because we get a lot of calls about that. Do you guys offer pottery classes? Right now, we're just paint your own pottery, where you pick out something that's already been made and paint it. Right. Plates, bowls, coffee mugs, figurines, that kind of thing.
Could somebody who wanted to instruct a group of people come in here and, but they still have to purchase the pottery in here and stand up in front of 3 tables and put on a class? And it wouldn't be you, it'd be just somebody who does this type of stuff.
Well, I have a lot of former employees actually that are artists that I would probably just plug them in to do it if I was going to do it. I wouldn't have somebody from the outside come in and do that.
It might be one of those things where you just bring in one of those former employees and say, hey, connect with Susie. Yeah. And then Susie builds a list, makes it a day, and then comes on in, and maybe you get a cut, a percentage.
I've thought about it.
Of course. All right, so I see a lot of pottery in here. Do you do just regular, canvas painting in here as and other types of painting outside of pottery?
We used to, and actually my dad, Greg, taught those classes, but honestly, his theory now at this point is I'm 76, old and grumpy, and I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do, and so he pretty much just piddles in his private pottery studio and does stuff and comes and goes. So we don't do canvas painting right now, because there's other places to do that in town too. So
yeah, that's why I ask. And I feel 76 sometimes and grumpy.
Same.
Yeah. I just want to do what I want to do.
Exactly. I just want to paint pottery.
Tell me about this, and I got another question. What is this beautiful piece in front of us?
The light up Christmas trees are super popular, and I actually just took this out of the kiln this morning. I'm stoked about it. Turquoise is my favorite color. This is a new glaze, and I wanted to see what it was going to look like, and I love it. But we do sell the light up Christmas trees that everybody's grandma used to have. We have a couple of different sizes. That's another event that we do, which is why we back to not doing birthday parties, because we do Christmas tree painting events where you have pre-ordered your tree from me. Everybody comes in, it's usually adults on a Saturday evening, and everybody just sits and paints their trees. Super popular. These come with the lights, the light kit.
See the holes.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
So yeah, I just took this out of the kiln today. And that's the thing too about time management, is there's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't know that I do. Yeah, we're open 11 to 4, but I might be here till 6 o'clock doing kiln things. Right. Dipping pottery in clear coat, unloading, loading kilns, especially around the holidays. I go to a lot of preschools and do fundraisers for them, where I'll go and take tiles, do the kids' handprints, bring the tiles back here, turn the handprint into something, a reindeer, an elephant, whatever, and then fire, 120 tiles after hours. So,
is there any memorable, like a memory that sticks out the most of something that was so impactful when somebody came in here to lay their heart on some painting or pottery?
Oh man, I've been doing this a lot. There's probably many stories. That's a good question. I do have people come in. This is not like the most memorable because I would really have to sit and think about this. Yeah. But a lot of people used to paint pottery with their grandmas, their mom back in the 80s. So it kind of brings back a lot of memories that they created with their older relatives that now they're bringing their children in to do the same type of activity with their kid. It's really cool because you're not looking at your phone, you're conversating, everybody's sitting and painting. And so that I think is one of the coolest things that may not answer your question, but they're kind of creating the same memories that they made with their relatives back when they were kids.
Yeah, and it becomes like a tradition.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do have a lot of regular customers too that kind of just come in and say it's their therapy where they just kind of zone out. Maybe these days they're listening to a podcast and we're not even talking to each other, but I have created a ton of relationships and friendships with regular customers through the years where I know a lot about their life or situations they're going through. And so I think they feel like this is kind of a safe space to be creative and to have those conversations with me.
I can 100% see that.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there anything in here that, because I feel like as an artist, you may have done this, so you may not have, but I feel like I have to ask the question. Is there a secret something in here that you've painted that only you know and maybe somebody spots every once in a while and you're like, oh, that thing, maybe not, maybe not, but I think maybe my mind just went there for a second. I had to ask.
That I painted specifically? Well, here's
or just something that your dad, but there's something in here that only you guys know and some people may have spotted.
No.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, when you own the business, people think I probably just sit around and paint pottery all day. That is the very last thing I'm doing.
True.
I did slap the paint on this because I was super excited about this new glaze and this tree. But a lot of my former employees paint samples. We have a lot of samples on the shelves. And believe it or not, a lot of people do not come back and pick up their pottery. So we use their pottery as a sample to show people how they can paint things. We actually have a big sale every year where all the abandoned pottery that's been here 6 to 8 months and we've called you multiple times and it's still sitting here, we sell it all for like $0.25, and then we donate the money to a local charity.
Oh, cool.
So I have painted some things. Looking around, I have a son who is now 14, but I have used his handprint for a lot of samples in the shop from the time he was a month old. So those are probably my most favorites.
Right.
His handprints through the years.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's interesting. What charity, if you don't mind me asking? Or is it just various? Yeah, last year there was a local foster care. They provide backpacks and that kind of thing to kids in need. So I donated to them. Urban Ministries. I'm pointing in that direction because it's over there. Can't you tell? Urban Ministries, I do a lot of things with them. One time we had a giant tree that was raffled off. So if you brought in canned goods, for every canned good you brought in, you got a raffle ticket. And then we donated all of the canned goods to their food bank over Urban Ministry. So things like that. Yeah. That's really cool. I've got some random questions to ask you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just moved to Fayetteville. What would you tell me about your business?
Well, I'd probably just explain how it works because that's the main question we probably get. How much do things cost? What do you do there? Do you offer classes? So I would just say we're a paint your own pottery shop. Like I said earlier, you come in, pick out your pottery, sit and paint it. It's fun for kids and adults. You can also take your pottery home and paint it. That's what we had to do in 2020, of course. Morphed to that to-go business where it was super popular, and now a lot of my regular customers prefer doing it that way. So they actually come in, pick out their pottery, pick out their paint colors. We put in little cups with lids on them. They take it home and paint it. That way, especially if you're doing something super detailed or you have little kids that you feel like you can't concentrate when you're in here because you're focusing on what they're doing. Once you take it home and the kids go to bed, you can sit and paint, which is actually how I do it at night. Gotcha. So yeah, most of our pottery averages like $15 to $25. Those are like the general questions. When people come in and they've never been in here, oh, are you guys new is the number one question. No, we've been here 18 years. Yeah. 2, what do you guys do? And so that's pretty much the explanation. Look around. If you have any questions, let me know.
Right. We have like 6 pieces at home.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we got a lot. I know one I never used anymore, but it was an incense holder.
Oh, yeah.
And I drew like a moon, and it was trying to grab a clock of time and pull it down. It was crazy weird. Yeah. But I don't use it because I don't do incense anymore. That probably more than a decade. Yeah. You know, it's been forever. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Best perk of being the owner of Gregg's Pottery.
I can wear what I want. I can play whatever music I want, which is usually 80s. I mean, there's perks and there's downsides too, but really, I mean, I can wear what I want and I can play whatever kind of music I want. That's the number one perk.
Yeah, I love it. What's the number one 80s song that's popping in your head right now?
Right now? Ooh, I listen to a lot of Go-Go's, so probably, actually This Town by the Go-Go's is one of my favorite songs.
Well, I was gonna say we might have to play it, but YouTube would flag us.
Yeah, no, but Google it because it's really good.
And put a comment underneath that music video, tag Gregg's Pottery.
Please do.
What's your name so everyone knows? Because I keep saying Gregg's Pottery.
I'm Kelly Hathaway, Bragg Hathaway's daughter.
Boom. All right. Outside your business, what would you tell someone who just came to Fayetteville they'd have to do while they were here?
Honestly, I mean, I would tell them to explore downtown because there are a lot of really cool things downtown, not just on Hay Street. A lot of hidden gems are on the side streets. So I would definitely talk to them about that. And I always tell people about the festivals. We have really amazing festivals here. International Folk Festival, Dogwood Festival, the Zombie Walk that just happened. There's a lot of things to do in town. So I kind of just go through like a capsule of different things to look for in the year because there is a lot to do.
There is, and we were talking about it prior. I'm going to do a Facebook group, so go to it, find Fayetteville Facebook group, and I'm going to put these events in there because it is sometimes difficult to find all the events, and it is a load of events literally every week that goes on in this beautiful, big, small town.
Yes. Just recently, for Halloween, the Gilbert Theater was doing Rocky Horror Picture Show. They were doing the trolley rides with Rocky Horror Sing-Along. I mean, there was the Botanical Garden was having something going on. All of this in one weekend. People just kind of don't know where to find that information.
Yeah, exactly. We went to the Addams Family play at the Cameo. Off the hook.
Right.
It was so good.
Right.
It was so good. I was like, whatever the play is next, I don't even care. We need tickets. It was that good.
I wanted to go see the one that was like the play where everything goes wrong or something because I talked to multiple people that they loved it and I regretted not getting tickets. So seriously, there's tons of stuff to do here.
Yes, exactly. What, if anything, do you want to tell everyone before we let them go? The questions are done. What do you want? What do you want to tell everyone? We're about to let you go. What do you want to tell them? See how I set it up? Just like very intense. Here we go.
Wow, no kidding. No.
And it's like, I don't know, have a good day.
Yeah. Be kind and come explore downtown because there is a lot to see and do here, especially downtown.
100%. So I love Be Kind. I literally told my daughter that this morning before she went to school. I said, be kind, work hard.
Yes.
That's it. Be kind, work hard.
Yes, absolutely. And encourage art. That's kind of like my tagline for here. Like, I feel like one of my jobs here is to encourage people. And I really like that.
So my youngest is 5 and her water paint is so crazy good. At least, because we're the parents. We're like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But she has not been here yet.
Right, you gotta bring her in.
She needs to show up.
Yes, she will have a blast. And here's the thing too. When you bring your kids in, just let them paint their project. It's gonna be a hot, blended mess. Yes. But the fun thing about it is, and this happened with my son through the years, is when you let them do their thing, the next time you come in, their art is gonna progress a little bit more. Maybe they're not gonna mix all their colors together and make brown, but definitely let them just do their thing. They will be so proud of it when they come to pick it up because it's their project. So totally bring her in. We love kids.
Totally. And So I used to draw all the time, and I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, or jump on this boat, I would say some of the coolest things I've created, drawn, colored, was when I made a mistake.
Right. Happy accidents. Bob Ross said it.
Right?
Yeah, happy. And we're like that too when a customer's in here and says, "Ooh, I did that." And I'm like, "That's cool. Let's just segue it into something else." And a lot of times they can fix it. And I tell people all the time, you will be pleasantly surprised when you come back to pick up your pottery, because we're also all our own worst critic. So you might be sitting here thinking, "Oh, this mug is gonna be ridiculous." But when you pick it up and it's all bright and shiny and finished, everybody's always like, the look on their face. I love that part of my job too, because adults and kids, they're just like, "Oh my God, this looks really good." Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, I knew it would. You just have to trust the process. Trust me in the process, so.
Well, come down here, come check out Gregg's Pottery. It is a blast. Like I said, come down here, but also look at the front of the store. There's a lot of cool art stuff, not just the paint stuff, but more than anything, just come in here and experience. Get out there and find Fayetteville.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.